The Night Witch is a side-scrolling Metroidvania with deck building mechanics and bullet hell twin-stick shooter combat. Although the combination of these parts is in fact original, the game struggles in some of these aspects, making it a frustrating experience overall. I want to be completely transparent with you before we get into the actual review. The game softlocked me at some point and I wasn't able to continue the story and finish the game. That was after around 5 hours of playing. I heard the game takes around 6 to 9 hours to complete, so I decided to put out a review anyway and share my thoughts with you, but don't give it a score this time. You play as Rain, a flying witch that is tasked to free the city from an invasion of robots. The presentation of the story is simple but charming. Characters are nicely written and full of humor, so I had to chuckle more than once. The story takes you to a few different locations, all of which benefit from a fantastic hand-drawn art style. Everything looks sharp, the animations are amazing, and characters and enemy designs are all good. Sadly, the areas themselves don't provide much possibility for exploration. I mean, yeah, there are a couple of hidden passages behind breakable walls, but not nearly as much as you would probably expect from a Metroidvania. With the lack of exploration and the rather linear progression with hardly any backtracking, I would call The Night Witch a Metroidvania light. But I gotta say this, it is exciting finding things like upgrades for your health or mana and new spell cards for combat. The deck building aspect is incredible. You will find a lot of cards, each with a different magic spell. Some of them are straight up attack spells to destroy the enemy. Others can change your standard bullet into a Gatling gun, a shotgun or a laser beam. Every single one of the cards I got up until now is useful and has its right for certain combat situations. I would recommend you take some time trying out each one of the spells. It will be worth it. You can equip 6 cards in your deck, of which 3 will be assigned to an action button at random. Using this skill discards the spell for the moment and one of the other cards takes over the place. That creates a nice combat flow where you always have to adapt to the situation and let you rethink the decisions you made with your deck building. Of course, using magic costs mana, so hitting and defeating enemies drops mana you can collect and refill your magic points. So you have to be aggressive to really make use of the spells. But also you have to be very careful because after all, this is a bullet hell game. Enemies will throw a lot of bullets, bombs and other deadly stuff into your face. Avoiding these has to be one of the most difficult things I did in a video game for the past 5 years. Honestly, some of the battles and especially boss fights show absolutely no mercy. And it's really hard to not smack your controller into the corner. The thing is, all that wouldn't be that bad if Rain's movement and the controls in general would feel responsive. But unfortunately, they don't. Rain is slow, and actually dodging the sea of bullets requires you to perform a teleport dash. The dash itself is intuitive, but aiming and shooting whilst dashing is hardly possible. That's mainly because you have to dash so often that it's hard to actually hit something. And you know what? I would even tolerate that if you had options to heal up, but that's not the case. Crates with hearts in it are rare to find and only placed between combat zones. It would have been nice to see 1 or 2 healing hearts fall from above during a hard boss fight, just to keep you in fight a bit longer. Sadly, all this results in a frustrating combat experience that loses its potential by simply overwhelming the player with too many things on the screen and not showing a little bit of mercy by healing you every now and then. I mean, I get that this is a design choice and making a game hard is a conscious decision, but I gotta say, The Night Witch feels unfair from time to time. Overall, The Night Witch is a game that was much more different than I thought. The Metroidvania aspect came short, and the bullet hell was frustrating half of the time. But it managed to entertain me with its charming characters, the deck building and spells, and a fantastic art style. I would recommend you check out the demo on Steam and get an idea of how this game feels in place. Thanks so much for watching. The last month of the year is here and I'm excited to give you a couple of top lists over the next few weeks. So if you want to hear the best soundtracks of 2022, see the most disappointing games of this year, and watch my top 10 games of 2022, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video.